how to properly respect President Trump and America. Listen up, liberals, because the fricking governor of Guam just showed you how to put country first and be a patriot. Look, Trump is not perfect. The Democrats and the establishment GOP have some valid points when they go after Trump. Advertisement. He is learning on the job, and don't forget he ran against both parties. So he is an island in Washington, D.C., an island speaking for the silent majority. And that is something we have not had in decades. So even if he quit today, he would go down as one of the greats, if not in history books, in the hearts of Americans who finally have a voice in D.C. The positive effects of Trump shaking things up will be felt for generations, and while the media will never give him credit for all he has done, we will never forget it. That is just politics. But we have never, ever, tried to undermine our president in a time of crisis. Never. Ever. We even came together for Bush's debacle in Iraq. But not this time. Not with Trump. Such is the left and GOP's hatred for Trump. They will risk our security for their cheap, short-term political gain. We all know Trump has a different style that some find loathsome. But as you are undermining President Trump on North Korea with your hysteria, ask yourself, what is the definition of insanity? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. Since Bill Clinton through George Bush and past Barack Obama, we have done the same thing with regards to North Korea. It hasn't worked. In fact, our insane behavior has made it much worse. So what do we have to goddamn lose by trying Trump's unorthodox way? He can't fail any worse than Obama and Bush, etc., so lay off the guy while he deals with this crisis. Don't mount your protests over his words, for he is negotiating with a madman, no less. America demands we come together in a time of military crisis, and we always have. Don't let this be the epitaph of the failed establishment. For it will not age well. And will haunt you forever. If you need a guide to how to be an American patriot who rallies, not runs from the flag, I give you the governor of fricking Guam. I just got off the phone with Chief of Staff General John Kelly and with the President of the United States of America. They called me from the White House this morning and both assured me that the people of Guam are safe. In the President's words, they are behind us 1000%. As the head of the government of Guam, I appreciate their reassurances that my family, my friends, everyone on this island, are all safe. God bless the people of Guam, and God bless the United States of America. He is in the line of fire and is standing with America and Trump. Susan Rice finally admits brutal truth about Barack Obama and Michelle's out for blood. Susan Rice just made a big enemy in Michelle Obama. Because, as everyone knows, Michelle fiercely protects her hapless husband from the truth, from bad news, but she mainly wants to protect his legacy, which is currently hanging by a thread of respectability, and he is close to being forever known as a total failure. Advertisement. History will judge, not us living through the horrors of Obama's 2 terms. But some things are so obvious, so true, that history doesn't have to wait for a final verdict. Which brings us to Barack Obama and what he didn't do in North Korea. To be fair to the bumbler Obama, George Bush and Bill Clinton also took the coward's route and kicked the can down the road. Rather than confront the growing menace in North Korea before it became a worldwide threat, they chose to stick their goddamn heads in the sand. Trump will clean up this mess, like he will have to do all of Obama's blunders. It's not fair, and he will get some of the blame when it should all be on Obama. But not on North Korea. Because former President Barack Obama's National Security Advisor Susan Rice finally told the truth about her former boss. And it's brutal, and he won't recover from it. Sorry, Michelle, your husband is a failure, a total flop, and that isn't me telling you, Susan Rice is telling you this. Rice finally admitted that over the course of Obama's 2 terms in office, his administration failed to stop the communist North Korea from their nuke escalation. You can call it a failure, Rice told CNN. I accept the characterization of the efforts of the United States over the last 2 decades. Amen. Advertisement. Finally, the truth comes from the mouth of a Democrat. According to the Washington Examiner, Rice added, the fact of the matter is, that despite all of those efforts, the North Korean regime has been able to succeed in progressing with its program, both nuclear and missile, Rice said. That's a very unfortunate outcome. But we are where we are. And we now need to decide how to proceed, Rice said. History shows that we can, if we must, tolerate nuclear weapons in North Korea, the same way we tolerated the far greater threat of thousands of Soviet nuclear weapons during the Cold War, Rice wrote. It will require being pragmatic. Scott Bhatia bitch-slaps Rosie O'Donnell after she apologizes to Kim Jong-un for Donald Trump. Thank you, Scott Bhatia. From every America, or every smart American, we thank you. Because not only did you stand up for President Trump, but you just discovered the easy way to solve America's Rosie O'Donnell problem. And we have a serious problem with Rosie after she posted a video. Yes, she was dressed as a pig for some reason. Advertisement. Maybe she is admitting that she is pig after all, and Trump was right to call her that. Whatever her revolting physical appearance does to you, her words are worse. Way worse. Rosie posted a video that millions have seen where she apologizes to the brutal dictator Kim Jong-un for President Trump. Hi Mr. Kim Jong-un. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that right. Anyways, sir, our President Donald is a moron. Don't listen to him. We don't. She's apologizing to Kim Jong-un for a sitting American president's tough talk with North Korea. This is beyond repugnant. What do you think Rosie Obama's strategy worked with North Korea? Not even a liberal dressed as a pig believes that. Reaction was swift and brutal. James Woods took a swipe at Miss Piggy. But the best of the millions of outraged responses to Rosie came from Scott Bhatia. Trump gives General Kelly new nickname as Kelly prepares total White House reorganization. White House Chief of Staff John Kelly spent the last week in Bedminster, NJ, preparing for a major overhaul for the West Wing. There is no doubt Trump picked the right man for the job. He has been in meetings kicking the tires and turning over every last rock to devise a strategy to make it work better. Advertisement. According to Politico, Kelly generated a list of concerns that terrified the troublemakers still in the Oval Office. His list includes aides without clear portfolios, decisions that aren't made with proper vetting, and internal fights, specifically the organized campaign against National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster. In his meetings, where he is laying down the law, Kelly made clear that change is coming and that people better be more concerned with the president's agenda and less concerned with their own. The leaks, of course, not just coming from Trump's enemies, but his own staff is leaking on each other. Kelly was also furious at a TV performance by National Security aide Sebastian Gorka, who questioned Secretary of State Rex Tillerson's comments about North Korea. Seb Gorka is a good guy, but he is a blunt instrument. Which is why Trump calls him his pit bull. But going after the clowns on CNN is a bit different than taking on Rex fricking Tillerson. The guy is a legend, and while Gorka is clearly one in his own mind, he doesn't have the body of work to justify his comments. Basically, Kelly is planning a total reorganization of West Wing to rid the White House of mischief makers. Too many people who populated the West Wing didn't have their number one priority as expert service for the president and therefore the country, and were too concerned about the inside game, said Bitcheslaps. When a White House turns into this extent of factions, it really destroys your ability to implement an agenda. Schlapp is a former aide to President George W. Bush who knows what he is talking about and leader of CPAC. Of course, Kelly is and should be auditing everyone and figuring out what everyone's role is and if people are in the right place, one senior administration official told Politico. That's what he is doing. Look, every single modern president has done a major shake-up before his first year is over. Because governing is different from campaigning. Trump understands this because flexibility has always been his single greatest asset. And he seems pleased with the work of General Kelly. So pleased he gave him another nickname. Advertisement. General Kelly has done a fantastic job, Trump said. Chief, I call him, Chief. He's a respected man, he's a four-star general from the Marines, and he carries himself like a four-star from the Marines. Hollywood heavyweight just publicly destroyed Michelle Obama. Obama was the biggest fraud that ever lived in this country. Of course, that his wife Michelle Obama won't be so different than him. She often now talks how she served great as a first lady, but we all know that this is a lie. She did nothing but spending the tax dollars on her lifestyle. After seeing how people are not buying her words anymore, she decided to play the victim card. Michelle changed her opinion fast, and now she tells the country how being the first lady was hard for her. One of the people who refused instantly to co-cry with her was the Hollywood actor James Woods. Daily Century reports, last week, Michelle gave an interview in which she whined about the racism she faced as First Lady. "The shards that cut me the deepest were the ones that intended to cut," Michelle told. Knowing that after 8 years of working really hard for this country, there are still people who won't see me for what I am because of my skin color. It is unbelievable how these people use their skin color for everything they do. Oh, and also the lies that she worked hard? We are not buying it. Daily Century issues. Keep in mind that this is the same woman who once said that she was never proud of the USA until her husband was elected president. After hearing Michelle's whining, Woods immediately fired back on his Twitter page. Woods and all those who share the same opinion are right. We won't be sorry for this lady's actions at all. Both she and her husband are not the ones who say they are. You need to stop giving these people such a big support. They do not deserve it. They never even cared about